What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of Shootin' the Shit podcast. We're going to have a little bit of a format change due to like scheduling conflicts and things like that. It's just kind of hard to get some people on here. You know, everybody's doing something. It's kind of an idea I've had since the beginning of starting this podcast. But the podcast format's going to be changing up a little bit. It's going to be more geared towards combat sports, mixed martial arts, boxing, kickboxing. I'll try to have some of my friends on here that are still training, today, still doing stuff. So hopefully we'll have one of them on there soon. But yeah, I just wanted to, quickly just address the show reformat, just because it's going to be a little bit different. It's not just talking about we can talk about anything, of course, but for the most part, I'm going to try to keep it strictly to combat sports, UFC, Bellator, Glory Kickboxing, IBF, WBC, standard boxing. Yeah, last weekend, UFC 225 was on June 9th. Really good card in my opinion, and I thought it had good fights. But it bombed in the pay-per-view, in the pay-per-view box office. Only I think they said only 150,000 buys. Like that's not very good, for such a good card. But it might have had something to do with the fact that Yoel Romero missed weight. But the fights that you had were, Mike Jackson versus CM Punk. God, that was, man, I hate to say this, but it was an awful fight. I was watching it, the first 3 minutes into the fight, I felt like I was watching the fight for 20 minutes. It was just not good. And it kind of, Dana fired both guys after the fight. And like he said, both of these guys are 0-2. Both of these guys are 0-2 in my opinion at this point, so I gotta agree with him on that. The fight was just trash, man. Dude wasn't trying to finish. He wasn't advancing the fight, he seemed like he was toying with CM Punk. And if you want to get in the UFC and you want to stay in the UFC, come out and knock this motherfucker out, come on, man. To me, the hunger wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the killer instinct like a lot of these other fighters do, so I hope I'm going to say this guy's name right. Tuvasa. He fought Andrei Arlovsky, which was a good fight. I think it could have went either way, honestly. Not mad about it. Tuvasa won the unanimous decision. Not mad about it at all. It was a great fight. Tuvasa's face was mashed up, man. He was beat up, but he put it on Arlovsky too. But it was good to see Arlovsky back and that he can still compete. At this high of a level. I've been doing I've been a fan and been doing mixed martial arts for let's see, I'm 28 now, so started when I was 15, started Taekwondo when I was 9. So I've been doing martial arts for a very, very long time. So, Arlovsky was one of the guys that I, grew up watching, and it's just good to see him still out there competing, So I wasn't mad about that fight at all. Holly Holm versus Megan Anderson. I wanted to see this fight. This is a good fight in my opinion. Holly Holm takes it by unanimous decision. But look at my notes real quick. It started slow. Holm looked really good on the ground, which is kind of weird because I thought Holly Holm was going to try to test Megan Anderson and try to stand with her. But clearly, Megan was bigger and Holly just didn't want to deal with her on the ground. I understand that. But Holm looked really good on the ground, and like I said, it was a good fight. It was just one of those fights that you kind of expect Holly Holm to get in with a girl that can, match her size and match her strength and her power. Let's see, Covington versus Dos Anjos. Man, Covington takes this unanimous decision. I know a lot of people don't like this guy right now. It's not hard to see why people don't like him. He's calling everybody nerds. He's spouting off about Trump and everything. He's gonna take the belts at the White House and everything, which that's neither here nor there. We don't get into politics on this podcast, so not anymore. But Colby Covington took it by unanimous decision, and man, as much as this guy kind of irks me, I gotta give it to the dude. He his cardio and just that relentless attack was I gotta give it up to him, man. I did not think, I knew it was gonna be good. Okay, let me put it this way. I knew it was gonna be a good fight, but I did not think that Colby Covington could take it to Dos Anjos the way he did. I'm thoroughly impressed, and I'm ready to see Covington versus Woodley. But man, Woodley's a whole nother monster. He really is. I'm not the biggest Tyron Woodley fan. I think he's a boring fighter, but he does what he has to do to keep that belt and get the W. So respect. And then finally, your main event, Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero missed weight, which made this a non-title fight, which is kind of weird. For it to still be the main event, I feel like I would have bumped the Dos Anjos Covington to main event since the title was on the line still, even though it was an interim title. But Robert Whittaker took it by unanimous decision, and man, Whittaker's a monster, dude. I mean, he is a monster. Romero started really slow. It didn't seem like Romero kind of woke up until about round 3. Let's see. Romero got a fall in round 3. I remember that. And then Whittaker had a kick after that staggered Romero. And I mean, it was just a hell of a fight, man. No complaints on that. Like I said, Whittaker wins via unanimous decision. Sucks the title wasn't on the line. But it was an amazing fight. And, it's always. But the one thing about this amazing fight, it's always going to have this shitty tagline attached to it that Yoel Romero missed weight. Sucks, but I guess that's the way it goes. Kind of get into a little bit of boxing right now. We've got Triple G versus Canelo rescheduled, and I couldn't be more happy. I want this fight to happen. I want it to happen fair. I want this fucking fight to happen. So Triple G versus Canelo Alvarez, September 15th, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. Oh, I'm so ready, man. I'm so ready. It's been rescheduled since Canelo's failed the drug tests. They were talking about tainted meat down in Mexico. I'm not an expert on this, so I'm not really going to comment on it. All I'm going to say is I feel like it's a little weird that you're testing positive for something that's in the meat in Mexico, but you're rich, you're in a fight camp. I don't know. I mean, I feel like, if you know that this is an issue down there with that meat in Mexico, why aren't you having meat shipped in? Like that, to me, that seems like what I would do, being Canelo Alvarez, having the wallet that he has, having the bank account he has. He could get good, quality meat. I don't know. It just seems a little strange to me. But this does come after the IBF strips Golovkin of his middleweight title. They took it because he's not defending against his IBF mandatory. He requested another exception to try to get this prolonged. He's not trying to dodge anybody, he's got unfinished business with Canelo Alvarez. I understand this. Being a competitor, you have unfinished business with someone. You want to knock that out. That's the only thing on his mind right now. Like in my opinion, that's what's happening with Triple G. The only thing on his mind is Canelo Alvarez. That bullshit that happened last year with Adelaide Bird and the terrible scorecards. He can't get that out of his mind. He's an undefeated fighter. He's an undefeated fighter with an 0 and a 1 at the end now. I wouldn't be happy about it either. And I'd want the fight back too. So, but they say he's dodging one competitor, and then I watched an interview with Charlo the other day, and Jermell Charlo, and they asked him if he thought that Triple G was ducking him, and he's like, no, he's not ducking me at all. This is business. Business is business. He's got his Canelo fight right now, and business is business. Triple G told him straight up, if I get done with this business, we'll see what's up. Triple G doesn't dodge people. I don't know the guy personally, but anybody that's ever watched his fights, and you think that guy dodges somebody, I don't know who you're watching, man. I don't know who you're watching. I really don't. But, I just kind of think it's a little weird. I think that these IBF guys don't understand what it's like to be a competitor and understand that there's one thing on his mind right now, and that's beating Canelo. He's a warrior. He's a fucking warrior. And he's an undefeated fighter, and now he has that blemish on his record. It's not a loss, but it's a blemish on his record. It's a draw. And I understand it. In his head, that can't happen. He has to amend that, and that's fine. I really, 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 really want to see this fight. I cannot wait, and I hope there's no fuckery this time, no bullshit. Let's just fight, okay? That's it. So on to back to mixed martial arts. UFC 226 is coming up. Oh shit, I didn't even get the date on it. It's July 7th, I think. It's right early July. I could be wrong on that. But You got Gokhan Saki versus Khalil Roundtree. I'm really eager to see this fight, man. I really want to see Gokhan, come back after the Japan card he was pulled from. I mean, he's only 1-1. I think we all want to see this guy fight mixed martial arts. So, man, he's fighting Khalil Roundtree though, and Khalil he's not very consistent, but he's a monster. He really is. I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. Like I said, he's not very consistent, but he is a monster, and he's not an easy fight. But I think if Gokhan can keep it on his feet, it's gonna be some electricity in that cage. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I like this fight. Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis. This is a good fight. You got your classic striker versus grappler. I think Pettis is good enough to keep it on the feet and win this fight, though. I don't see Michael Chiesa being able to take Anthony Pettis down. I mean, maybe once or twice, but once he gets him down, I don't see him being able to do anything to him. I just think Pettis is versus at the levels you put him at. You know what I'm saying? Like his striking level is just at such a high fucking level that it just I don't see Michael Chiesa trying to taking him down and doing anything to him really. So, but a good fight nonetheless. Man, this card's fucking stacked. Like I can't even believe some of these fights. Oh my god. Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. Yes, I want this fight. So someone's getting knocked out. Like I think Francis pulls this one off, but I won't be surprised if Derek Lewis, runs away with one. I mean, Derek Lewis is a beast. Francis Ngannou is a fucking beast. But both these dudes are super powerful punchers, and one punch could end the night for either of these guys. So I'm gonna go with Ngannou, but like I said, I won't be surprised if Derek Lewis wins this fight. Man, these next two fights. This is the card to watch this year, guys. Like if you don't watch any other card this year, watch UFC 226. Watch UFC 226. So here's our two last fights. So you've got Max Holloway versus Brian Ortega, who's 13-0 for the featherweight championship. This is my favorite fight on the card. I mean, my pick is Holloway, but I just think he's on a roll right now, and I don't think anybody's going to really stop him. But Brian Ortega's a beast. I mean, no one's ever stopped Frankie Edgar, and he did. And that says a lot to me. Frankie Edgar's a beast. Frankie Edgar's a monster. I mean, everyone in the UFC reacted after he stopped Edgar and was just like, wow. It just doesn't happen. Frankie Edgar doesn't get stopped. I mean, he's a tough dude that can stay in there with anybody. But I just think Holloway he's the man right now. Not taking anything away from Ortega. I'm a huge Ortega fan. I love Ortega. The dude can scrap, and the dude can grapple. I love it. I really am a big fan. But I just think it's Holloway's time. I think it's the blessed era right now, baby, and we're gonna keep going with it. Hashtag blessed. I fucking love Max Holloway, man. He's just a good guy. He's always positive. Anybody that follows his Instagram, he's always posting videos of his cute little son. He's just a badass. I'm a huge fan. All right, main event: Stipe Miocic versus Daniel Cormier. Fuck, man. You guys wanted a super fight. This is a super fight. I mean, this is a fucking super fight. Big time. Now, my pick is Stipe. That's my boy. That man is a monster. But can you really ever count out Daniel Cormier? Dude, in my opinion, is the best wrestler the UFC's ever seen. I love watching him pick people up and throw them on their head. It's awesome. But I think Stipe's too much for him, man. I think Stipe is just a whole another monster that the heavyweight division has needed for a long time that they haven't seen, and I think he's just gonna continue to reign terror on that heavyweight division. So, but I won't call. I can't. Okay, on the main event here, I was gonna try to make a pick and try to say like what I thought was how the fight was gonna end and what round. But the more I sit here and I think about it, I'm thinking that this is gonna go unanimous decision to Stipe. I can't see either of these guys finishing each other. Possibly Stipe by KO in the fourth. That's my only other prediction, is Stipe by KO in the fourth or unanimous decision. So, but UFC 226, that's going to be one hell of a fight. Like I said, Triple G versus Canelo, September 15th, Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena. I'm so ready for that. It's going to be on pay-per-view. UFC 226, like I said, it's in early July. I'll get the date for you guys on the next episode. I'm not sure why my stupid ass didn't write down the date here on my notes, but I fucked up there. All good. But thank you guys for watching. Like I said again, this is the new Shooting the Shit podcast, new format. We're talking about combat sports. If you could, hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And if you have any questions or anything, put them in the comments down below. Anything you'd like to ask, anything you'd like to see me talk about on here dealing with combat sports, or a certain fighter, anything. Comment down below. But like I said, please hit that like, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. This is episode 3 of Shooting the Shit podcast. I'll see you guys.